Hello everyone, it's Liza with Gatehouse Admissions, and this video is designed for those of you who are on Stanford GSB's waitlist. First off, I know that this can be a little bit of a uncomfortable place to be. I get it completely. A maybe is really hard, especially after all the work that you've put into your application, and to hear this sort of gray maybe. It can be confusing and make you doubt yourself. I want to assure you that you are an incredibly strong candidate to have made it to GSB's waitlist. Full stop. You really are. They only invite people to the waitlist who they can actually already see in the classroom. It just means, that there might have been some other candidates that sort of look and feel like you, and they, for whatever reason, the reader could be anything, for whatever reason, that person or those people got the spots and you didn't, but they're not giving up on you, and I don't want you to give up on you either. So in this video, I want to talk about what you can do if you are on GSB's waitlist. And I'm going to put this into 3 buckets. The first and the biggest is what you can do yourself for your candidacy. And it's really to keep growing and keep getting stronger and keep growing as a leader and learning who you are and what you're capable of. And what I encourage you to do is pick 1 or 2 lanes, maybe 3, where you can pull something to conclusion, take initiative and get something done, champion a new effort, complete a project. What isn't super exciting when you're providing an update, and GSB will give you an opportunity to provide an update and share any updates to your candidacy, is not like, okay, I just kind of move these projects from A to B. It's not that interesting, doesn't show growth. You want to show GSB that you're always growing. So what you want to do is take stock of, all right, are there certain initiatives I can get done over the next month or 2, and then give GSB an update on it. And I also want you to be thinking about this in the workplace and also outside the workplace as well, contemplating on your involvement in the community, and likewise if there is a discrete project or 2 that you can drive to completion. On these things, it's important to think about how you've grown and why they're important. Achieving results is great, but remember, the GSB really wants people who are reflective about their own growth. So it's not just about getting it done, it's about reflecting on why it's made you stronger, better, faster, why you were a better candidate as a result. So that's bucket 1 and the most important bucket. So again, the best way to increase your odds of getting off the waitlist at the GSB is to continue to become a stronger and stronger candidate. The second piece is really doing your research on the GSB. The GSB is really adamant about this. You do not need to go visit when you're on the waitlist. It does nothing to increase your chances, and it really doesn't. However, by continuing to research the program, you might be able to better articulate what resources on campus you'll be able to take advantage of in order to reach your goals. So that can be, just really helpful. And if you are in an opportunity to give GSB an update, you could share what you learned about the program and why it's so good for you. This is like 10%, okay? The 80 to 90% is really how are you becoming a better candidate? This is like, okay, I'm also going to do this. But again, really over-index on becoming a better candidate. There's no quick hit here. It is a slog when you're on the wait list, but I don't want you to steal energy from that first bucket for these other buckets, because these are really minuscule when it comes to importance. But if you are eager and want to go to campus, go for it. It's fine. It's not going to turn the decision around on you, but it might, again, get you further excited about the program and give you ideas of how you'll use your time once you're on campus. And the third thing I want to say is I want to address the idea of notes of support. These are sort of like additional letters of recommendation. The GSB says you do not need them. And I really urge you to take that at face value. They are not looking for additional letters of recommendation. They have a standard process for you to follow when you're on the wait list. If you are going to do something that is atypical, it's more work for them. Nobody likes more work, right? You don't like more work when you're not expecting it, neither do they. but I'd be, misguiding you if I said I didn't know or never heard of it happening. I certainly have. It's really hard to know if it does anything at all. So if you don't have any of these, I would be almost grateful, because then you don't have to be in this sort of judgment situation of, should I try to get this letter or not? Because the most important thing to remember is it can backfire. You never know if the reader or the people making the decision are just tired of getting all of these and they decide to say, I'm not going to read any of these and I'm going to hold it against the actual applicant. Not saying they would do this, they're not going to spite off their nose, to cut their nose to spite their face, but at the same time, you don't want to give them any reason not to be super excited about your candidacy. So tread lightly here. And if you do seek an additional note of support, make sure it's from an alumni. It's just, you're already asking the school to bend the rules a little bit for you, and they have no reason to do that if it's just somebody, no matter how important, if it's just somebody who does not already have a stake in the school. But if they do, they're an alumni of GSB, then maybe. But use it very carefully and make sure that that person can say something new about you that they haven't already read in your letters of recommendation. I would say this does not change the answer. The schools are really trying to be fair to the process. So don't be thinking again like, oh, I'm going to get all these notes of support. This is not a popularity contest and that will just go back. That'll bite you. And they've gotten enough information to already be really excited about your candidacy. So this is again, maybe if you're doing this, assume that this is 1% of your strategy. It's all about that first bucket. I will say the GSB does admit a few folks, I don't know if it could be a few to a dozen every year. So stay positive, but also be realistic and make sure you've got some backup options in play too. Definitely reach out to us if you want some advice on how to organize your update or other schools to consider, what your backup options are, or even if you should try again next year. We every year are talking to folks that are on the GSB waitlist. We have people who have gotten off and found their way to GSB and are delighted. And then we've also had people who haven't. It's the name of the game on the waitlist. But we've got lots of strategies that we have developed over the years, and we're happy to talk to you about those. So definitely reach out to us if you need advice, and I'll be rooting for you regardless. We all will. Thanks.